Okie dokie. It is time to do stuff. Oh, lordy, 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 lordy. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Or afternoon, or evening, or space time. And it is Monday, the 16th. After a very long weekend, I can get to stream again. Hello, Harry. And for anyone else who's watching this now or in the future, today's stream is probably going to be pretty boring unless there's some interesting questions or topics we can work on. I need to finally, it's 16 friggin' days into the month, and I need to actually set up my base example project for the year, which I still haven't done yet. So I'm going to move over some stuff, set up some folders, and basically get my base examples project set up for 2017. Maybe start on some basic AI, depending on the time. That's what I'm going to be working on right now. I have 3 major projects on the back burner I'd like to work on right now. One is fire propagation, but it's out of my grasp right now. The second one is the dungeon generator, but that's going to require more research to do it properly, and I just haven't had the time. And then the third is basically creating a Boolean operation system for procedural meshes inside of Unreal Engine 4. That's basically what it is, what we're trying to help out someone with. And that one, assuming I can read through the source code properly, we should be able to make it work. So those are kind of on the back burner. So right now, especially with like the Global Game Jam dropping this weekend, which I'm hoping I can participate in, I'm thinking set this project up, get it ready to go, move in some AI stuff, and then maybe try to do some more intermediate AI for the rest of this week. Hello everyone who's saying howdy and showing up. I hope everyone else had a good week as well. Weekend, whatever. I hope everyone had a good time. I had 1,300 miles worth of driving over the last 2-3 days. I don't know, a couple days, so I'm pretty worn out. But I had a good weekend, and I hope everyone else had a good weekend as well. So, hello Pro Tools, Tapsin, Sterling, Headclot, and Josh. I hope everyone had some fun time. But like I mentioned earlier, this one might not be the most riveting stream because we might not be actually working on anything but just behind the scenes stuff. But again, anyone has questions, stuff like that, feel free to ask. We'll see if we can work on them. Sterling, I went from Northern to Southern California for a friend's wedding. So, lots of fun. So, for our previous project that I was using could only contain products and assets that I created because it was a public-facing project. With the new one for 2017, since I now have it locked behind Epic's GitHub login, I can basically use any of their resources. I can use the gray template dude, I can use any of the models and meshes and textures, and basically any of the example stuff that they provide, and then freely redistribute my code because you'll have to be a licensee in order to use it. So that's good. That means in 2017, my plans for doing things like animations and things like that, I can actually do because I can use the Epic stuff for explanation purposes. So the first thing I need to do is, this is the old project, which of course organically was done over a couple years, and it's a pretty big mess. So I'm going to find a better organizational structure in the new one, if I can figure out where to put it. So this is the new one. This is all the base content that comes with it, which we're going to keep. Actually, we can get rid of this. We don't need that. So I liked how at the end of the year, towards the end of the year, basically what I did was I started creating separate folders for the classes, as you can see in here, and then based on what it was, I had the actual files in there plus the appropriate maps. So I kept everything separated, so someone could easily come in and go, oh, I need to know about camera stuff. They could go to the camera folder. Or I need to know about materials. All the material examples are in there. That of course started halfway through, so I have this giant mess where you also see another maps folder full of maps. So I'm thinking of following the same one. I'm thinking of doing examples, have the categories, have the maps inside of each one. The second issue I ran into was I had but generic items for my blueprints. So I had a generic character I'd reuse, generic structures, generic game modes. And over time, the problem I ran into was our generic character started getting loaded up with stuff from every single project. So sometimes I'd have to redo the begin play event, or different widgets would be assigned. So halfway through, I started redoing things by simply copying in the character and making a customized character for each individual project, so everything was self-contained. So I think I'm going to persist with that one as well. I think that one worked out well. So this is what we have. These are going to be our base folders we're not going to mess with. So we're just going to make a new folder for examples. And technically the first one's going to be AI. So let me migrate over my AI, because I already have working AI. So I might as well move over. Oh no. Do I want to move over all of the AI stuff and then basically port it to the new system? Or do I just want to use this stuff as reference, recreate things? Because basically the next AI stuff, the basic AI stuff we have now is finding a player and hiding from a player. So it's really simple AI stuff. You know, our little guy's going to go from point to point, and he's going to try not to be the player. He's also facing the player. You know, I think I'm going to restart all the AI stuff from scratch just to refresh my memory, because that's one of the things I've learned. While it may feel like repetition and you're doing something for no reason since you've done it already, the fact that I can barely even remember how AI works right now probably means I should redo AI from scratch. So I think I'm going to do that. So what I'm going to do then is find Edge. Where did I hide Edge at? And feel free to throw out some examples if you guys have anything in here. Right now I already have, once this loads up, for AI, let's see, where is it at? I already know I need to work on the EQS system and the perception system. So I've already got those in here. I had advanced, here we go, basic AI 3 and 4. Basically, the AI sees the player, the AI finds a spot hidden from the player. So basically where the AI doesn't see the player anymore. I'm going to do that. Someone requested an animal AI. So that's a little more difficult, but that might be interesting to try. So if you have anything besides this that might be interesting to try to do, I'm going to add it to the list and see if we can do it. Someone just brought up vehicle AI. That's an interesting one. I have honestly no idea. I mean, off the top of my head, I would think it would... I mean, if you're talking like a round track, a circuit track, something like a Daytona or Laguna Seca or something, you probably have splines you can use for points to determine either perfect driving lines, the proper driving lines. You have the nav mesh for pathing, so I mean that's easy enough just to go from point A to point B. And I mean, the biggest thing I would see with a vehicle is the locomotion of the vehicle, making it look like it's moving properly. But you have the detour, you have the AI crowd controller. So I mean, technically, if you put like 3 cars next to each other on a track and you define the track as the only valid navigational point, and then you just kept updating where they're supposed to go on the track, basically from point to point, so checkpoint to checkpoint, basically, it should automatically work. It may look weird, but it should work. But I kind of like that one, actually, because maybe we could work on basically updating. Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like fun. If it sounds like fun, I think we should do it. So we're just going to rename these to AI, more AI, and then we'll come up with better names as they come across. So we'll just call, let's see, UI, more AI. So vehicle AI, maybe something on a track going from checkpoint to checkpoint. Use the detour, seriously, crowd. Yeah, cool. And that works out well because I actually have up here the detour crowd AI controller needs to be done anyways. So yeah, I like that one. I had some other ones in here that my brain was thinking of and I've completely forgot of. Patrol, here we go. Patrol basic, here we go. Basic patrol AI that will pursue the player, and if they lose the player, we're gonna go with lose because we might work this into the EQS system for audio as well. The player, they go back to their patrol. And this one shouldn't be too bad. I've done this one actually on accident or on purpose in one of the Game Jam games. I actually don't remember if I think I'm pretty sure I used behavior trees for that one. I don't remember that. That was gosh, I want to say that was November of last year. Not last year, of 2015. But that's a good one. So basically, if we can get some basic common types of AIs that people would encounter, we're not going to try to do anything specific like get to the player and fight with the player and do combat and dodge and all that stuff, because that's technically a different system. The basic AI system is more of alerting, finding, and things like that. Dragos asks, can you make a turn-based AI? You can, but that's technically not really what this system is designed for. The AI system in here is more of navigational and awareness. Turn-based AI is more logic-based. Attack if something's within range, heal below a certain amount of life, things like that. Nothing really to do with navigating, especially with turn-based. If it's turn-based, then you're probably grid-based or something in terms of limited movement. That is, though, something I did want to do in the future, but it's not going to be covered in this stuff right here, not for the basic AI. That's more of a priority queue type system, which I do plan on doing. I do want to actually make a traditional type RPG where you have turn-based AI and things like that. I'd love to make it work in the behavior tree. I've got to figure that out. I know there's others I've thought of, but well, let's just go with this for now. Let's go with recreating the AI, and then we'll go from there. Harry, if you'd like to send a project to check out, my email address is on the YouTube About page, and I will also paste it in chat. I will do my best to look at it, and if there's, just feel free to, if you're looking for help, I can try. If you're looking for feedback, I can try. If you're looking for me to do stuff, probably not. But if you want to send it to me and have me look at it, give you feedback, or if you have any specific problems, feel free to ask them. The worst I can do is tell you no, unfortunately I can't help. But if you try, then that's good. Try and accomplish something. That's what I feel. Okay. So you know what? Let's see if we can just go about recreating our basic AI inside of our new project. And I literally, I'm not joking here, don't remember how to use the AI system anymore. So this is going to be fun. Well, I should rephrase that. I do know how to, I think I remember the basics of it. So let's start by doing let's start by duplicating this map, to be honest. This would be a good basic one to go with. Where's my text? There we go. Yeah, we can. I think we can do this. We'll get rid of basic stuff. We'll set it up where our player. We'll set up an A. Well, let's work on getting an AI player that will move from wherever it currently is to wherever we set a destination point. Let's see if we can do that. I think that might be fun. So we're going to go with a BP AI destination. Let's see how quickly we can knock this out. I bet you with a move to location, if I can remember getting how to get the stupid behavior tree working properly, the first pass, this won't be very hard. Okay, so we are going to replace our default ball with the scene component. And we're going to give ourselves a billboard. And again, for everyone hanging out, feel free to do the normal stuff. Ask questions, comments, feedbacks, you know. I generally am basically just doing stuff to entertain myself until other people have things they want to entertain me with. That's basically what it is. I have no problem. Especially this week, I have a feeling I don't really feel like doing much of anything. I am exhausted. Yeah, we'll do that. This should be pretty simple here. This is going to be our destination point. We need an AI, so... oops. I know for a fact we're going to need an AI controller. So we're going to make a new AI controller. We'll go with AI controller. And we'll just call this enemy. That way we can do a base enemy controller. That's what we'll do. Okay. Now I know we're going to need a behavior tree. And we'll call this one BT. And we'll call this one enemy. And I know we're going to need a blackboard to go with it, to hold our location of our blueprint destination. Blackboard enemy. So that's our basics. Technically, we don't even have an enemy, so that's kind of a problem. So let's go ahead and clone out our third-person character and drop him in here. And we're going to use this as our AI. So let's see, we're going to call this one character AI enemy. We're going to go with that. Let's give him a different color right now before I already get confused in a second. Yeah, so let's grab this one. Let's copy this here. Then let's rename this one to yeah, they call it UE4, man. That's funny. CAI. I never noticed that before. And of course I called it C, so that didn't help. Material. There we go. Okay. And this should be super simple, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, there's a parameter. Oh, I could have just, seriously, there's a friggin' parameter. I could have just instanced it. Okay, well, let's do that then, shall we? It would probably have helped if I had looked at that first. Now we'll rename this one. Cool. That's close enough. There we go. And where's our body color? Let's give him a color of, I'm gonna go with green. There we go. Now we'll find our enemy, give him the material we have selected. Right there. Boop. And now we should have a green enemy. Whoops, let's drag the enemy in. There we go. Okay, cool. So there's our AI enemy. I don't really know how well this is going to work, but hey, you know, that's what we're figuring out here. Let's try. I'm just slapping him in the scene for now. Okay, cool. So we have someone in the scene. He should do nothing. Good. Let's see. What do I know about root motion? I know the root motion is annoying as hell, and I know the basics of how it's supposed to work, but unfortunately with animation, I don't know enough of it. The basics of root motion, if I can grab my, probably, the run one is probably the best one. Skeleton and show. Can we show all the, there we go. So with the root motion, the key here is, where's it running? There we go. The root motion is basically this bone is your root basically, and your motion, yeah, your yeah, okay, you've got the basics. Well, the NPC should use it the same as a PC. I mean, there shouldn't really be an issue there. The biggest issue is just in place motion. That's basically what it is. Instead of physically moving your character with the movement, the bones move around a base. So your NPCs should work fine. Is there an issue with the NPCs not using it? Struggle with allocating new animations. Yeah, see, this is one of those parts where I'm going to have to play it by ear. I'm not an artist. This animation stuff, I barely get working. I literally just push buttons until something works. I'm not kidding. I have to do a lot more research to get animation stuff working properly for me, which you'll probably notice here shortly. The AI controller is... it's a player control. It's a controller, but it's specially suited for AI because it gives you something special, which of course I can't friggin' remember. Let me find it. I believe the AI controller is the only one that has the Blackboard interface, is what it is. Basically, the AI controller goes on a possessed thing, and then it runs whatever Blackboard or behavior tree you want attached to it. But you have the ability to start and stop it just by basically calling possessed and unpossessed and tell it to start and stop. That's basically what the AI controller just gives you extra features intended for behavior trees on stuff that's possessed, basically. Yeah, it's part of the path following component. Is part of the AI controller. I don't know if it's new or not. I don't remember, to be honest. It's not in the normal controller, right? It would probably help. Let's just make a new controller down here because we can. Yep, player controller. Yeah, no, it's only part of the AI controller. It's just got the normal transform component there. You get the actions component and the path following component that's inherited from... I wonder what it's inherited from. Because these are inherited from the controller. I wonder what these are inherited from. I'll have to check. If your NPC AI picks a path to follow to a location, how does the animation blueprint tell the blend space how much character should be turning? So that it takes tight turns using 45-degree turn anims or 90-degree anims for animation. Oh, okay. Well, your player's animation one... Where's the stupid animation? The anim blueprint, and then... No, oh no, is there no blend space? Oh, here we go. Here's the blend space. Have you... I'm guessing you need to use a normal blend space, but the normal blend space is driven by... Ah, crap. What is it? Oh. Yeah, the player's easy because you can react from input. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. But you have... Oh, damn it. What was it? That's a very good question, Sterling, and I'm going to have to be figuring that out here shortly. I would assume it would be basic math because you have the ability to determine where you are and where you're going. Can't you get on... okay, well, I'm not going to be able to figure this out right now, Sterling. It's a very good question. I would assume we could query the nav mesh to determine where we're going, and then you could put that input in using math. Basically, the differential between your forward vector, and the vector that you're going to. And then that would determine basically like your rotation that you'd use on your controller. Because now that I think about it, when I use the AI, it basically... it would basically snap to each direction. So that makes sense. No, Sterling, I'm gonna have to for the AI stuff. That's and the animation stuff. I'll see what I can do. Um, that is something very. I'm glad you mentioned that. That is something I had not thought about. All the AI I have ever used has snapped, but it doesn't seem like something we can't figure out, honestly. Let's see. I had something else, Harry. For Harry, per instance. The AI controller is per instance. That is something to keep in mind. The controller is on the character. So when you spawn in the character, it has its own controller. So each AI controller, because if you go to our enemy right here, and I go to our, here we go, defaults, you have the AI controller class. And this is a controller class that is, there we go, AI controller class. That is for this exact one. So when we spawn more in, it's going to have its own settings. It has its own, all of this stuff and its own controller. So each controller is independent. Let's see. For the Dynasty, yes, I'm streaming this on Beam, Twitch, and YouTube using the Restream ability. Problem only exists for root motion anims with NPCs. Well, we'll see about that. That's the whole point of this one, Harry. I know I need to work on some more AI stuff, and I've been putting this off for a while, especially with the EQS system. I would really like to work on those 3 other projects, but they honestly require a lot more research and a lot more algorithm and maths than I really feel like dealing with right now, just to be honest. So I'd rather just throw monkeys at a computer and play with AI. And since I get to do what I want to do, that's what I'm going to do. Plus, it's something a lot of people run into, just giving you a little bit more. Tapson, you can draw a spline based on the path between point A and point B. Yep. For the Dynasty, I'm basically gonna reset up my examples for 2017 for basic AI, and then we're gonna move on to making more robust examples. Things like maybe a vehicle AI, basic patrolling AI, an AI that flees from the player and tries to basically stay out of their vision, things like that. Somebody requested an animal AI with different states, which I might work on as well. So it's just some basic AI stuff. Right now, I was in the middle of trying to just get a basic follow-to behavior tree up and running again. I have all the stuff working in last year's examples, but we're porting it over to a new project. And I haven't worked in friggin' I haven't worked on AI in a long time at this point. But that's the fun part. I'm trying to remember everything. I'm trying to get rid of my stupid camera at this point. Because I don't want it on the AI. Okay, so let's see. Here's our AI. We're not going to possess them, so let's get rid of all their input. And we don't need any of this crap and that crap. We're going to try to just make our AI as simple as possible. We have our AI controller set up properly. So we should use our AI controller. So at this point, and I'm just going to double check everything as my memory refreshes itself. If we were to do something simple in here like print string, I don't think, oh wait, no, it should, yeah, it should work, okay. And the reason that works is we have auto possess right here placed in world. If I set it like this, it shouldn't work. Okay, good. That's what I was making sure. And if we disable this, then we can actually have the AI possess itself by setting up the AI controller. These are all those things I was trying to remember here. I think we do that with spawn. So this is to spawn in the AI, but we're already in here, so we don't want to do this. It's the yeah, see, this is only going to work if the AI controller is, yeah, let me remember this. Let's see. Yeah, I have a feeling that, let's see, append string, and we'll go blah. This is just to make sure we're printing out something here. No, okay. So without an AI controller, my guesses are begin play event never even fires, right? Yep, okay. I'm an idiot. Okay, so this is me doing this stuff in the AI controller. I'm an idiot. I'm gonna explain what I stupefied up here. This is also why it helps to. I love print string debugging. Yeah, I know what's wrong here. So this is the begin play AI. No character AI character. This should print out fine. Yep. And then the begin play. And the controller should not, because I haven't attached the controller. Begin play. Yeah, so that makes sense here. Yep, there we go. Okay. Which, yeah, okay, so the enemy itself needs to attach its controller. And that's what I was trying to remember to do. But will this work with AI? It will. Okay, cool. That's what I couldn't remember right here. If the default controller will spawn in the AI controller. Okay, cool. No, we can auto possess, we can do all that stuff, but in the sake of learning how all the systems work properly, in the instances we might need to do something different, I'm just playing with everything. That's the goal of this. So yeah, I could set it to auto possess, but maybe we want, for example, to populate our level with 100 enemies, and then we want them to actually turn themselves on or off later. Because the nice thing about this is you could technically have something be completely asleep until something gets in its range, and then you could spawn the controller and have the controller take over. That's probably the stupid way of doing it. I would think the smarter way would be to get the AI controller and then what is it, unpossess, or is it pause? Because unpossess isn't gonna help, is it? Okay, let's spawn in the default controller. Let's just play with this for a second. Okay, and we have an error. Let's see. Access none from unpossess. That's awesome. And this should be self, right? Maybe it does default to self. That's kind of cool. Oh, that's interesting. This node will run perfectly fine without anything plugged in, but it doesn't default to self. Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a node do that before. If the actor passed in is a pawn, then the function receives the pawn's AI controller. Otherwise, the function returns actor cast to AI controller. Which is... Huh. Okay, well, all I can say right there is that is not an expected behavior. But at least we know this works. But can't we can pause the stupid controller, right? We don't need to... Or do we have to unpossess it? Is that how we stop it? I haven't worked on the advanced AI stuff, but you know what? We might have to unpause it, unpossess it. Okay. So, let's actually undo that, and let's try to cheat here. Let's do a custom event. We'll call this stop myself, and we'll just simply do this, and then custom event start myself, and we should be able to we've already spawned it. We should be able to just repossess, right? Oops, that would be the wrong combination of keys on the keyboard. Yeah. Seriously? I have to put myself back in here. Okay, so that should work for some basic stuff, right? So we technically have control over everything now. So in theory, yeah, that spawns in the default controller. We don't have it doing anything. You'd probably technically... Can you get the... Let's see. If we do, this is what I'm curious about. Testing. So let's say we spawn this in, get the AI controller. Print string. Let's plug this into here. Like that. And let's disconnect that temporarily. Oh, I actually need to call this stuff, so that really doesn't help. We don't have a player in here to interact with because we're just doing AI, so let's give the AI control over my keyboard then. Because that's just the easiest way of doing this. To receive input, we'll do the E key because I like the E key. Thank you. And we'll just simply do that right there. Let's try that. It's not going to work. I know there's a reason why this isn't working. What's the reason why? How do I always forget this? Right? Okay. No. Oh, and hello everybody. Yeah, and I do see stuff popping up. But my brain, this should be working, right? Oh, unless this is printing out nothing again, which of course is a possibility. Let's append to make sure that we have an actual words here. Just in case when I push the button. Yeah, okay. So no, it's not taking our NPC is not taking input. Probably because it's an AI controller and it won't take input. Is that what it is? So without a player controller, can you not accept input? Doesn't make sense though. Right? Right. Right? Because I can have a mesh accept input. Okay, so let's figure this one out. Let's do this. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have our third person character slap it into here, and then we're gonna call this one our character AI player. Okay. Well, the E input might be eaten by the player character, the player controller of the character. I can agree with that one, but I don't have a default player controller assigned, and our default player is not set to block input, so this one should not be blocking it. Is the default controller set to block? I don't know. Anyways, no, those are good points. I assumed it wasn't because I've never had this issue before, but I should be able to press up the priority if needed. I don't know, 100? Yeah, see, that's still not it. Well, yeah, the player controllers might be eating input, but see this? Okay, it's not a big deal. This is the stupider... I was only doing that to test something and just so I could be lazy, but I should not have done that. Anyways, let's see. Controllers without any sort of possession just get tossed into a global GC cleanup. Garbage collection cleanup and can run into issues when they end up never being able to get cleaned up. I don't know about that, Dynasty. As far as I know, once something has no references, the garbage collector should take care of it. And I would assume that when this is stuff we can find out. That's the fun part about this, at least. I would assume when I spawn the default controller, its target, it's going to have a reference to the pawn. which means the controller should be fine. So as long as we don't remove the controller, it's fine. Unpossessing just simply disconnects it. Yeah, but I'm just gonna do the third person thingy. What I should have done in the first place anyways. So we'll grab our player here and we'll simply set up a new game mode. This is the stuff I should be doing in the first place anyway, so I figured a quick and easy solution would have been the quick and easy way of doing it, which obviously it was not. So let's see, I'm going to do this properly here. And this will be the player controller AI player. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Where'd our game mode go? Let's see. Player controller, AI player, default pawn class will be our AI player. And that should be all I care about. Okay. Then we go back to our map and we set it up as the AI game mode. Save that out. Reload the map. See if we get lucky. There we go. Cool. I have AI enemy, AI game mode, and I should have AI player. I know I'm missing something in here, right? Aren't I missing something? PC AI player. Was that in there? Did I not see that? Oh, there it is. Player. Okay, good. Yep. Okay, cool. So I'm spawning in the correct stuff now. Not a big deal, but that's what I cared about. So now here is our character AI player. Now I don't have to worry about overriding because I haven't. The player character here is going to take my input. Assuming it'll keep. There we go. EK. There we go. So in this case, we're just going to talk to our enemies and we're going to tell them to. What is this one? This is yeah. We don't worry about that. Don't need this one anymore. We're worried about our controller. So we're going to talk to the controller for the enemy and tell it to either possess or unpossess itself. That's our test right here. This is a really stupid test. I'm not going to argue on that one. Classes. But when you're learning stuff, this is what you have to do. And this is a enemy character. I'm going to grab the only one in my scene. Get the controller. And then we're going to... This is probably knocking out. We're going to have to cast this to our enemy controller. There we go. And then what was it? What do we have called Stop Myself? You're not going to cooperate, are you? Yeah, custom event. Okay, what did I break? Nope, 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 nope. Nope, nope, nope. Yeah, but help if I cast it to the right thing. I'm not crazy, right? Oh, what the hell? Am I putting this? Okay, I need to start naming crap better. Did I put... Oh, son of a bitch. Okay, so... no problem here. I was just, I see the C, and I keep thinking to myself that's the controller, even though it's the character. The AI controller is the AIC. And I just basically got myself backwards is all. This would be me being backwards. Yeah, the player... Okay, yeah, so that's all. This is me being stupid here. I don't want... Yeah, I want to leave the controller alone. Yep. Okay. This would me be just being dumb. I want the player, not the controller. And I don't tell it to stop myself. Because I want to see what our result is when we stop it, is what I want. So let me get rid of the AI controller. We don't need that. We're in here, and we're going to print out... Whoops, actually, it would help if I push the button, right? Hey, it's still not working. Seriously? Gotta be shitting me. This is when we're going to come back and I'm going to find something extremely stupid happening for my input. Do I have, Yep, I am... Oh, because in the... Oh, the goddamn controller's eating it, isn't it? Is the controller seriously eating all the input? No, see, it's not set to block, goddammit. I swear to Jesus, this should not be happening right now. It's okay. It's okay. I have not given up. We're gonna try the next stupid thing here. Because at this point, yeah, okay. I'm not crazy here. So I have my controller and I have my character. Let's get rid of the enemy for now. So I've already got an issue here. My controller, even though it's not set, where'd the stupid thing go, to consume inputs, is consuming the stupid input. I hate when it does this. Because my controller, this is my controller right here, and this is the controller that we're using. Oh, son of a... No, yeah, this is only when I've set it to... Okay. Okay, no, you know what? I'm gonna figure this crap out, because this is annoying the hell out of me at this point. Even if we set it like that. Yeah, okay. So my player controller is preventing direct input. However, we know that's not the case. Is it only preventing direct input? Oh, you want to know what? Oh, hold on a second. I wonder if I'm assuming something here. Nope. Okay, well, that sure as hell ain't it. Let's just start randomly clicking shit. Nope, that ain't it. Okay, so let's go to edit, project settings. Let's add a new input mapping, and we'll call this one EQ, because apparently I can't do it myself because I'm not smart enough to put the E key as an input, even though I've done this a bunch of times. Nope. Okay. I have legitimately gotten myself confused. Huh. Okay, so is it the E key? Should we try a different key? Like the P key? And see if it's just the E key causing me an issue after all this time? Nope, it's not that. Okay, so, huh. I'm gonna legitimately go, I'm confused here. This is our character that we're using right here. Here, let's double check and make sure we're actually using this character, because that might be even stupider. So when we turn, oh, that's on the gamepad, so that really doesn't help. Let's jump. Here we go. Here's the jump key. We can intercept the jump key. This is easy enough. So if I'm accepting input inside of here and I jump, it should say hello. Okay, well, yep. Obviously, that's not the case. So I've done something completely stupid here. AI controller. Am I still using the third person? Ah, son of a bitch. You know what? Oh, God. This is... Yeah, no, it's... Yeah. Yeah, no. Okay, so... This is our default pawn class, which we should be using right now. Yeah, we should be using this. However, you'll notice that when we hit play, we are not. However, if I shut it down and start it back up, would you like to bet that it works fine? I forgot about this bug and I thought it was fixed in 4.14. The number one rule when something doesn't work right is you should always stop it and restart it. Here, let's open up the correct map. Yes, I know that. There we go. Hit play. Oh, son of a bitch. It's still using third-person character. Does anyone else literally... Oh, son of a double bitch. Okay, so, then I also forgot that the default map starts off with the stupid third-person character. Yeah, we are not doing... I'm not doing well today. Yep. Where's our player start? So this is the reason why you don't use maps that are already pre-done, because then you end up doing stupid stuff like that. Oh, look, our E button works. Son of... Yeah. Nope, you are correct, Terry. Third-person character is placed in the world and is set to auto-possess. And I forgot about that with the default map, because 99% of the time I make a blank map and do everything by hand. And the one time I decided to take it easy, I basically wasted all of my time. I swear. If there's anything to take from this, don't try to do it the easy way. That is hilarious. Okay, so let's go back to our enemy right here. There we go. So what I was trying to test was what happens if we get our AI controller and there's nothing actually spawned. That was my whole goal of this. Nothing. Okay. So you're gonna have a blank AI controller if you don't have one spawned in. And if you do have one, we're gonna have one. Because what I was trying to check was, I was trying to verify we could do this and check for an is valid. That was the entire point of this stupid thing, was to set up an is valid check, believe it or not. Because I want this thing to actually take care of itself. That was the entire goal of this stupid thing. So if we have one already, we're going to do nothing. If we don't, we're going to go ahead and spawn in the default controller and then go ahead and possess. That's what I was trying to do this entire stupid time and ran into that issue. And then when we stop ourselves, what do you mean? Don't I have myself? Oh no, I need the controller. Wait, the AI controller, here we go. Okay, and then we stop ourselves, we grab the AI controller, and we're going to unpossess. But we should still have a controller even after we unpossess. So that's what we're going to check here. After, of course, I deleted that. This is what we want to check. This is just a debug temporarily. So I kind of technically need a key to stop myself. So let's go back to our player, wherever we put him at. Right here. And let's go back to, here we go. Here's our E key. So now I'm curious. Now that we have this working properly, will our E key work again? If I just do the E? Yeah, look at that. That's funnier than hell. So after all that crap, it was because not only was I spawning in the wrong thing, I was spawning in the wrong thing. So yeah, always reset, always check. That's so freaking annoying. Let's go with the R key because it's right next to the E key. We'll set this one up to unpossess. So let's see. Go here. Keep in mind this is not efficient. All we are doing is testing stuff right now. And then this one will be the start myself. And I actually should have switch these. The E key will start it. Come on, there we go. And the R key will stop it. Okay. Well, let's see. Where have you been lately, or did you just miss the streams? You did not miss the stream on Friday. I was out of town. So, no, you have not been missing them. I just didn't do them. So, if we hit the E key, it should possess. And if we hit the R key, it should unpossess. That's what I was hoping. Okay. but it's giving it, okay, so it will, notice that's doing a new controller every time. Yeah, so that obviously gave me the answer to that one. If I can see past my cat, let's see. Oh, son of a kid. No, we already did self. Wait a minute. Okay, let's debug. Where's the clear function? No, is there no clear function? Seriously? Can we not clear? Oh, it's gonna clear when I start it. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's hit the E key. There's our error right there. Possess. Am I crazy here though? Begin play AI controller. Blah, right? Okay. Oh, this is not cooperating. Here's my enemy. Yeah, here's my begin play AI controller. And then my print string of my blah. Getting the AI controller. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Oh, this doesn't help right here either. Why am I trying to get myself? That's funnier than hell. So this is not gonna work how I expected, but I get an error. That's kind of cool. Okay. So I'm getting an error on possess, but technically it works fine because we are calling the begin play on the AI controller. Well, this I'm yeah, it needs a self pin. I agree with that one, but there's no point in even doing this because we're already in the AI controller, so this is just stupid. I'm basically getting myself right here. I probably put this code in the wrong place, so I'm not even worried about this one right here. I'm more confused about the fact that here's my AI controller, begin play AI controller. I'm in here. I hit E. It says begin play AI controller. So obviously this controller is working. However, it's telling me there's an error on possess because the none trying to read function AI controller. So of course I don't know which one of these it is. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, let's try disconnecting that for now. Let's put this back on the spawn, the default controller. Possess, yeah, begin play works. It's valid, possessed, yeah, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, I think we can figure this out. Let's see if we can figure this one out logically. When we start it up, there's no AI controller. We know that because I'm not telling it to spawn. So there is no controller, so we're smart there. We check. This is going to return back null. It's not valid. Spawn default. Yeah, see, you need to call get AI. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, but technically it does it already right here. I am doing it right here. And this is a pure node, which means this node should execute whenever I get it. This is why I'm confused on why I'm getting the error. It's not reacting like it should. This node right here, these two things, well, this one technically. Oh no, you're right. Oh, son of a bitch. I just noticed it wasn't a pure node. Nope, you are 100% correct. I'm an idiot. I just simply wasn't paying attention. Yep. Hey, I've had a long weekend. You guys, if you've been here... Yep, no, you are completely right, Harry. It's been a long weekend, and you guys should know by now, if you've been here any point of time, at how stupid I can be when it's been like this. Okay, so this one should be here like this. There we go. If it is valid, okay. So we need to fix these connections. Here we go. Yeah, yep. We're good. Harry's smart. He's always like half a friggin' step ahead of me when the brain stops functioning. Yeah. And then this one, we've already gotten the controller, so technically we can hook it up there. Nope. For whatever reason, I saw this node, and I was thinking to myself, oh, it's a pure node, we're fine. And obviously it's not a pure node. Oh, look. Now it actually works properly without the error when you actually do it properly. That's friggin' genius. That one I'm gonna admit was pretty friggin' ridiculous. Okay, so now we can properly start it. And we should be able to stop or properly end it. Now we're gonna get an error down there. Because again, we don't have a valid check. This right here, these three nodes are super important to what we're trying to do here. There we go. So now that we know this isn't a pure node, and we should not make this mistake again, all we care about is we grab it, is it valid? That's funny, I already copied this one. We'll get rid of this one for now because we can. If we have a controller and we're trying to unpossess, we're going to go ahead and unpossess. And if it is not valid, then we don't really care. We can't unpossess nothing. So it would help if I plug that one in. There we go. Yeah, see? Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so now we can get rid of that. And in theory, we can now turn on and off our AI. That's what I was trying to do. I don't have any messages, but that's because my debug stuff. Okay, good. Good. And all that matters is I can change this into a loop, and we're good there. Well, there is a get controller, but it's the player controller. So those are your distinctions there: AI controller and player controller, basically. And I mean, there is a get controller, but I don't think it really matters. Does it? Actually, would that matter? That's a good question. So anywhere I did this would get controller. Oh, son of a bitch. Is get controller a friggin' pure node? Oh, look at that. That might have been why I was confusing myself so much, because I was used to the get controller node. But we won't talk about that. We're going to talk about the fact that this works, and we're going to go from there. I don't think we needed this. But, again, it works. Yeah. No, the get... You're right, Harry. The get controller can be either the AI or the player controller. But in our case, for this one, it really doesn't matter. It's only on the AI itself, in the controller for the AI. And we're basically being told to start and stop. It doesn't matter. We're good. I'm getting completely way off topic of what I was trying to do because it's been so long. Hello NHDL. I'm glad some of my stuff helped. Hopefully you won't get super confused like I have so far today following myself, because that's just troubleception basically. Okay. So the goal here was to do something really stupid and simple, and I failed miserably. So let's go back to doing something stupid and simple. To answer the question, yes, this is a Banjo-Kazooie soundtrack playing currently. I have game stuff that plays randomly. Now, my entire point of doing all of this was to get the stupid controller set up so I could actually connect the stupid behavior tree, believe it or not. That was the entire point of this. Literally, the entire point of this entire stupid thing was so I could set up my behavior trees and make sure these were running properly. That was it. That was literally all I was trying to do, was to set these 2 nodes up, but I got distracted and decided to turn on and off my AI for some stupid reason. Okay. Now we should have working behavior trees. Our behavior tree should do nothing, but we should have working. So in theory, if we open up our behavior tree, if I remember right, nothing will fire off. Yeah, okay. So I don't think anything fires off unless we put a node in here, right? At least one. Let's put a decorator. Oh, just something stupid. Cone check, why not? I'm just trying to get this thing to trigger at this point. Yeah, so I ran into this issue before as well. Like I said earlier, it's been a bit of time since I have played with behavior trees. It's not actually firing off, or else I should be able to see my enemy right here. So my behavior tree is not actually firing. So do I have these backwards? Do I have to have... yeah, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember without looking at my stupid documentation, because there's no fun in that. Oh, it would probably help if I actually possessed the stupid... oh. Son of a gun. There's nothing in here because I've never actually possessed anything yet. Remember, I have to actually possess them now? Look, now we have an actual enemy in here, because I told it to possess. And then I think if I get rid of it, it'll go away? No. There we go. Now we have our actual enemy stuck up here doing nothing because it's got nothing. Okay, so it's working. That's what counts. In theory, it's working. I swear to Pete. Nothing. Good. E key should spawn something. There's our enemy. Okay. Yep. Okay. I am confusing myself right now. But it's all good. It's all good. And I did see a question, so I will get to that in a second. So we're going to want to add in a... technically we can run default focus, right? Would this one work for us? Oops, I need an actual Blackboard variable, so that doesn't help. Object. Target. And this is going to be an actor. Which this is hidden. It is so friggin' annoying. It is hidden. Actually, let's just find our target. That would work, right? Target. Nope, not target point. What the hell did I call that? Oh. Back to our browser. Oh, that's music. What do we call our target point? AI destination. So that really didn't help. AI destination. There we go. That's what we're actually going to go for. And this one will be called our target. So let's go back in here. Let's grab our set default focus to our target. So I didn't technically need a selector. I could have done a sequence. Yeah, we're going to want to run this into a sequence. Yeah, but see, if we do this every time... oops. No, I want to delete you, and I want to put you back down here, and I want to set you up as that. Yeah. See, I know what's going wrong here, and I'm trying to when I was making one of my games, I had the AI check for the player every single frame, so it's basically bogged down the system when I had about 40 AIs on the screen. So I'm trying to do this properly, and my brain is like, nope. So let's go back to chat, because that keeps me entertained. Question regarding key presses. If I only want the key E to be pressed if there's a certain event fired, would the best bet to be use a gate? Let's see. Harry says, depends on the event. Do once node is simpler. If it's something that immediately closes the gate, but then the state keeping node worked properly on the event graph, so it's something to remember. Or just a stupid bool if a branch node will do a trick. But yeah, bool nodes work great. I guess the rest of the question would be, what do you actually want it to happen? You want the E to be pressed if there's a certain event fired. So your certain event is like there's an explosion, press the E key to dodge type thing. You have a couple different ways of doing it in there. Depending on if something physically happens or you physically can attach. The way I like to cheat is instead of using branches, use the valid nodes. You may have seen me use a couple of those already. For example, if the user interface is on the screen, then the E key is valid because I can check and see if the E key by using a valid node. Bool nodes work perfect though. Explosion starts, set the bool is exploding to true, and then when you push the E key, go is the E, is exploding true. Now the do once node works as well, but I have a feeling since he wants to see if there's a certain event fired, I guess you could technically use the do once node and then open it basically. Start it closed, open it when the event happens, and then once you fire it off the first time, it'll close itself. But he didn't really say if he wanted it to only be used once either, so that's an issue. If you have more information on what you are looking to get accomplished, throw some more stuff in the chat, and Harry can answer, and I can answer, and everyone else can answer. We'll give you like 10 different ways to do it, and every single one will work. That's the cool part. Okay, so I know what I need to do. Okay, so override. This is the part where I almost always got lost. That was funnier than hell. Okay. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to we only want this to fire off once. That's the key here. We want to keep the player out of here. So we only want this to happen once. Oh no, so we want this to be a service actually. Dagnabbit. Yeah, we don't want this. We want this to be a service, and then we'll put the decorator. Okay, so actually we can create the decorator. Where'd the decorator go? There it is. This will be the decorator. Decorator. Get. No. Is valid target. Is what we're gonna call this one. And we're gonna grab the blackboard value as an actor, as an object, and we're going to promote this to a key, and this will be our target key. Compile this, and our target key is should be target. Why did it not give me the target? Because I never. We go back to the blackboard and we grab our target. Yeah, you should let me do this. Why didn't you let me do this? Because you're not gonna cooperate. I'll work on that in a second. Valid. There we go. We'll copy return node like this. And this is what we're looking to do. So all this is going to do is do a simple check on our target. And if our target is valid, it's going to return back valid. So that's a decorator we can put on our behavior tree, wherever the hell I put it at. Here we go. But it's not going to be here. Wait, yeah. No, it will be here. Yeah. The hell did I call it? Here we go. Decorator is valid target. Because basically, we're only going to want to run this once. If we have a valid target, there's no reason to find the target again. Yeah. And if we... Yeah. So... Oh, fuck. We want to go on if there's a target. If there's no target, we want to go ahead and set up the target. Man, this is where the brain stops functioning on this one. Man. Because I've not worked on AI in such a long time. let's see, service, get valid target. Actually, it should be more like set valid target. And on this one, it'll be receive. Yeah, pretty sure it's in the activation. We'll get all actors. This is just something I'm trying to do right now. AI, because this will be changed to the player later. Blueprint, AI destination, get. And then set Blackboard value as object. Promote to variable or key. Yep, see, I've done something horribly wrong with our keys, apparently. Oops. Yep. I have a feeling my Blackboard, I set this up wrong. Oh. Probably, yeah. Yep. Let's just go, let's go like this. Let's see if this fixes my issue. Nope. Oh, for fuck's sake. Let's go back to the question. Let's see. You have an event that fires an alarm light. The alarm light flashes for 20 seconds and loops every 30. During those 20 seconds, I display a message on the HUD that says press E to go to the room with the alarm. It's in those 20 seconds only, and I want the E key to do that teleportation. Okay, yeah, that seems simple enough. Honestly, the bool check is probably the easiest way of doing it. Honestly. When you have an event that fires off the alarm, just, yeah, set the bool. Yep, I'll just read off Harry's. It's probably exactly what I was about to say. Make a bool is alarm on, false by default. Set to true when the alarm fires. And at the same time, start a timer for 20 seconds that sets it to false after expiring. On every key press, I check for the bool, and if it's true, it does whatever. So our whatever is going to be our teleportation, it looks like. And then basically make sure you set the bool back to false once you shut off your alarm event. So trigger the alarm, set the boolean to true. Disable the alarm, set the boolean to false. Anytime you push the E key, the first thing you do, check for that boolean. If it's true, then you allow your event to fire. If it's false, they're outside of the event phase. Super simple. I agree 1000% with that one. Also got lost again in here. So this is where I get lost on blueprints all the damn time, and it's really friggin' annoying. Because this should not be an issue here. This is definitely one of those issues where Epic could be working on improving some stuff. See, this key selector, it's not letting me select any of our keys. I should have keys over here that I should be able to set. And it's not letting me. So let's save everything and open everything back up and see if it fixes it. No, you're not distracting from work. No, NH, you might be seeing his messages on the chat. It'll show my name in front of it. It's basically going to transfer it from Twitch over to YouTube, but it'll show my name in front of it. So if you see any chat, it's not me. I'm not chatting like at all. Yeah. Okay. So why are my target keys not allowing me to be set? Oh. No. That's not it. Yep. The brain forgot how this is supposed to work properly. The brain just remembered how it's supposed to work properly. This is one of those super confusing things. Yep. Where'd they, yep. This is one of those things that always confused me. When you set the targets in here, you make them editable. Well, we set the keys in here. You set them as editable, and then it allows you to edit them in the actual behavior tree over here. I always forget that. That's the part that always throws me off whenever I'm trying to remember how to do this. There we go. Because that's how you set the variables. That's what I was trying to friggin' do this entire time, and my brain forgot. ASCII table and the tool top. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. No, you got it right, Harry. It's one of those things where I always forget you set them up inside of here. This is just the front end, and this is just a back end. It's the brain again, not working. Yeah. No, because all I'm trying to do is setters and getters at this point. And I want this to be an object for just a test. But again, I don't even remember if I'm doing this properly because honestly, oh, for fuck's sake, brain, come on, you can do this. I swear. See, and this is supposed to be a task, not a service, because I don't want this checking all the time. Oh, lovely. It's all good. It's all good. All good. It's all good. In case, yeah, again, I have not screwed with this stuff in such a long time. Can I please create the variable? Thank you. Okay. If we have a valid target, then we're going to move on. See, which is not. I want the opposite of this. I want the not option, inverse. There we go. So if we don't have a valid target, we need to set up the valid target. So we're going to run the task of get the valid target, which of course I didn't rename it, so that doesn't help. Task find valid target. There we go. So in theory, if we don't have a valid target, it should run in sequence, find a valid target, and then I'm going to have it move to the valid target. So that's the stupid goal here. If we can ever remember how to do this stupid stuff. Yeah, I don't remember if this is going to work, but that's what we're going to figure out. That is the whole point of trying to remember how to do this. Hey, my AI disappeared. Wait. Where did my AI go? Did I move my AI somewhere? Oh, I'm probably not the right map, so that would probably help. Oh, it's gonna be one of those days. Okay, so let's find our behavior tree. So here's our behavior tree for our enemy, which I think I accidentally unpossessed it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I know most of this stuff wandered, but it's been literally over a year since I've worked with these, so my brain is trying to remember, which is why I'm slowly getting it here. I think Schlump asked, oh, there's no donate button, Schlump, but thank you. I just like working on stuff. I'm pretty sure this is not working. I'm pretty darn sure I broke something, so let's see if we can figure out what we broke. I think these are backwards too, by the way. I just have a feeling that they're backwards. Our player did move, right? It did it like literally just move? Oh, okay, so I'm thinking it might be smart to actually put a navigation map in the map in order for us to actually navigate from place to place. That would probably be smart. I just have that feeling that we need a navigation map. Navigation mesh. because our little guy might possibly have a problem getting from place to place without the ability to go from place to place. That would be me moving the floor, not the deprecation mesh. There we go. Oh, and it would also help if I use 10,000 instead of 1,000. There we go. Look at that. Let's see. Target needs an actual tether, I believe, like to self. I don't know. Okay, so we have a nav mesh, so we should be good. Our little dude is not going properly. I don't think his AI tree is running properly. I think it's because of the way I set it up. Because at the worst, I should be seeing it fail. Let me drag this to my other screen so I can watch this in real time. Because I have no debug object selected. That's good. Then I hit E, and I get my AI enemy. But he doesn't actually seem to be doing anything. He's not even like stuck on the root, which is really annoying. So I have a feeling that my setup is horribly, horribly wrong. So let's cheat because we have the internet. Let's see. And yeah, if you see anything that might be wrong with causing me not to get this stupid thing to start up properly, feel free to toss it out there. AI literally always takes me like an hour to get back in the groove of things, to remember what I'm supposed to be doing. And then I eventually remember what I'm doing, and then it works. But I have a sequence that should fire off if I have a valid target. I don't have a valid target. This should set up as negative. But at the worst, my root should be firing off in terms of nothing happening. Well, this is... if I'm not getting a valid target, so I have an inverse here. So my sequence should fire off. I have no valid target. My find target task should fire off. That should set my target. Then the next time it comes through, it should go... It should fire. But again, behavior trees. These things confuse the hell out of me half the time. This should be fine if my logic is working properly here. Oh, but this is never... This sequence will never... Oh, crap. Do I need... Oh, bubbles. Here, let's see if we can disconnect our root. And let's just do a... Let's just do a simple check to see if our AI is even moving here, shall we? Yeah, you know what? Let's just see if we can... Of course, there's no friggin' sound cues in the default. Here. Yeah, see, we're not getting anything out of our AI. I mean, in theory, this thing should continue running. I have a feeling I set up something wrong inside my AI. Well, this is no fun. Let's just simply ignore all this other crap I was putting in here, and let's spawn. Actually, let's auto possess, so that way we know that that should in theory be working. There we go. See how it's working now? That's what I'm expecting. So in my actual code, I've got set up incorrectly. That's fine. So this right here, so my auto possessing is not working properly. So let's go with the yeah, because my possess should work, right? I'm not crazy here. Let's see, E Bluetooth. Yeah, because see, it's connecting and then it's shutting off. That's kind of cool. Okay, so let's figure out where the disconnect is here. So this is what we're doing. Spawning, getting, and possessing is what we're doing right here. So let's just put it onto the default of the AI and hit play. Go back into our behavior tree, and it's running. Okay, so there's something inside my actual code itself that's causing an issue. Because if I run this inside of the spawn code here, it runs fine. If I run it down here in my start myself, it fails. So I gotta admit that's pretty damn cool. But so we'll ignore that. That was just something for testing. All that matters is right here we are manually working, and we know this works. So we'll get rid of this stuff. We'll see if we can fix this now. So we'll go back to play. We'll go back to behavior tree. Okay, so here's our behavior tree. So this code is not working properly because I never friggin' had the stupid finish event, did I? Oh, damn it. Called finish execute. There we go. I always forget about this because I have no friggin' clue why they don't have that on auto. Okay, so we'll go back to our behavior tree. There we go. Okay. That's what was supposed to be happening half an hour ago. It doesn't work right, but that's fine. This is what's supposed to be happening. I've never understood this one, by the way. This seems like another one where Epic made a boo-boo on. When you're in your decorators, for example, and you do an override, like, for example, we're overriding the condition check, it gives you the starter and then the return node. However, if you're in like a task and you do like the execute, so we can run something, you have to put in the finish execute node or the other execute node. Or it never finishes. It never considers itself finished. And if it never considers itself finished, it can never move on to the next thing. Okay, cool. So, so this isn't, because this is set up as an actor, it should still work, if I remember right. No, because this is not an actor, technically. Crap. This is one of those other issues I had. Some of the move to nodes take an actor or location, but you had to set it up properly in here. So let's go with let's do something else here, just to try debugging purposes. This is going to, let's see, what is this one? This is our valid target. Yeah. Now we already have an issue. Whoops. Where'd my blue behavior tree go? There we go. Yeah. No, we'll go with wander. I think it's because you can run events on other tasks and use the finish nodes. Oh, you're right. You know what? That's probably what it is. I think you can run multiple tasks at the same time. You are correct. That would be why they didn't auto do it. It's been a while since I remember this stuff. That is a very good point. Yep. Decorator, basically the flow is going to come in. The decorator is going to do something and allow this stuff to run. If you have something under this, a service is going to run. So it's your tick, basically. And then under that, you have events that fire off. And you can have multiple events firing at one time. That's good. That's right. I think this is what I want to do. Give me a second here. I think I want to do this. Wait. Oh, god damn it. Okay, this is logic, and this is where my brain stops functioning properly. Yeah. This should work fine as long as we set up a location. Let's remove this one. We're going to go in a sequence. I want the sequence to be, do we have a valid target? If we do, we're going to move directly towards it. If we don't, it needs to find a valid target. So that's probably going to be, I don't want to do a get. I'm assuming you made this one right here, yeah. I didn't change it over yet because my brain is trying to, this isn't right. It's not right now. I only want this to fire. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Um, this. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. I can do this. I can do this, brain. Come on. We can do this. The first thing I want them to do is find a valid target. So I can run the task valid target. So, it's all in remembering the way that the stupid selector sequence and parallel nodes work. And I technically want this to run in sequence. Yeah, God, I'm trying to get the brain to work. Okay, you know what? I need okay. I can do this. The brain's not working. Basically, we want to come in. We want it to check and see if it has a valid target. If it has a valid target, we're going to move towards it. If it doesn't have a valid target, we want it to set a valid target. That's our goal here. Let me delete these things. Yeah, so we want to be able to run our valid target check. We want our decorator, which of course I can't run in here because I'm already hooked up to it. And the way the selectors and the sequences work is basically it'll keep going on the sequence until something fails, whereas the selector will simply maybe hold on a second. Make an extra key type bool has target. Well, I could do that, but where would I check that at? You'd use a decorator to do the check. We need our decorator, which I don't friggin' remember where to put it on top of. But we want our decorator to basically, if we have a valid target, that's what we want. Yeah, I'm not trying to use a service for any of this stuff. I have no reason to do that. We're just doing the basics right here. We literally want to have a decorator, see if we have a target set. That's what we want. If we have a target set, we're going to move over to our move to location node. If we don't have a target set, we need to go to the next one. Selector. Okay. I think I want the selector. Okay, let's see. Hold on, Braid. We can do this. We're going to do a selector. We're going to decorate this with our is valid target. We're going to do a there, and then we're going to do a we're going to want to put this at the end. Okay, hold on a second. If we have a valid target, okay, this is gonna fail. Oh my god, seriously, brain. Hold on. Okay, stop, mouse. Okay, if we have a valid target, we're gonna do a move to. Where'd my stupid task? Here we go. Task. Move directly towards, and then our location. So that's what we want to happen. If we have a valid target, move there. If not, then we're going to run the next one, which is going to be our get find the valid target. And then this should set why is my Target key not showing. Oh, because it's not editable when I swap it over. There we go. And then set that as the target. That, I think, is it. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Let's go back to behavior retreat. Okay. Okay, so this should work. I'm not crazy, right? The only thing, oh, I am crazy because our target location is never being set because I'm a dum-dum. I'm actually setting that, but I'm never setting our target location. Yeah, okay, so grab that and then get, yeah, actor location. I still don't think this is working right, but we're gonna deal with this. Target, not it's a target location key, blackboard selector. Let's see, set value. Set value as vector. Boy. Yeah, it's amazing once you actually get this crap working and you're like, oh, it worked fantastically. I can't believe how stupid it was not to make that work. Okay. So at this point, it should be working. Where's our values? Here we go. Okay, so our target location is in, oh. Go back to our stupid find valid target location key. Set as valid. Go back to our behavior tree. Find valid target. That as our location. Run that again. There we go. He's a dum-dum, but I'm not really worried about that. The point is we're getting something to work. Oh my god, that was stupid. Okay, there we go. And I have a feeling that's because I don't have my nav mesh set up properly, but we can work on that in a second. Oh no, it helps by the fact that I have it set to move directly toward, which is the wrong stupid node to use. That's because I don't have an actual node for moving, which is fine, which is perfectly fine. We got it working. Now, behavior trees aren't the devil. The problem is it's like the animation system where you have so many options that are required to work together that if you forget how to do it, you're basically screwed. Once you remember what you're doing and you wrap your head around it, like math, and math is where I fail horribly at, it works great. So, yeah. Move to is what I want, but there's no move to task, right? Oh, move to, duh. Normally I do this stuff inside of an actual task itself. I don't just use this one. But yeah, there we go. See, look at that. Okay. That's what I was trying to friggin' reproduce. That was it. Literally an hour and 43 minutes of video, of which probably 75 minutes of this has been trying to reproduce something I did last year. Because I'm not joking. If I pull up the launcher and we go into here, I have the original file that I created in the old project. But I figured if I copied it over, I would end up forgetting what I did and have to redo it anyways. Because see, we have our AI map from last year. And it works fine. I have it set to go to random points to hide from the player. But I mean, it's our old project where I wanted things to be updated. You can see it facing the player. Now it'll move to the next spot as it faces the player. Things like that. But I wanted to update it in the new template format. And I figured, oh, it shouldn't be a problem to redo it in a couple minutes. And I failed miserably. Let's see. Is it okay for an RTS game to an enemy AI to use the service to check every 5 seconds a sphere trace if there's an enemy around? Service. Well, a service is basically just a tick inside the behavior tree, honestly. So, do you think it's okay for your game to allow the AI to check every 5 seconds for something? I mean, if you're just going to do a sphere trace, it's not that big of a deal. Honestly, traces are not that expensive. So, I wouldn't see a problem. And Harry is working on AI right now for an RTS, so he would definitely be a much better answer of that one. But I would think it would be okay. Yeah, read what technically is coming back by me writing it, but that's Harry writing it. He's got some really good information on that one. Good. Now I can switch it to the other thing I wanted to plop in here. Is what I wanted to do. So where'd my stupid blueprint go? Right here. Oops, I want to eject is what I want to do. And then do this. And then what I'm going to do is, yeah, okay, cool. Because what I actually intended to do this entire stupid time and was failing miserably at was to get this thing to move to the target itself. Give my stupid target. Because if you set it up in terms of an actor, instead of moving to the location, it actually will follow the actor when you move it. So this gives us the ability to update it in real time by moving our actor to the best of its ability. That's what I was trying to do this entire stupid time, and I kept failing. Because I'd rather do that than the location, because if your character updates itself, but you need both for sometimes. But again, all we were trying to do is recreate our stupid basic AI, which is technically working. This is our simplest basic AI. Decorator to find a target and then move to it, and then if you don't have a valid target, we have a task that simply fires it off. It was remembering this order here of setting up your behavior tree. Let's see. Yeah, a behavior tree. So let's say we disconnected this right here, and we hit play. Here's our behavior tree. Every frame, the behavior tree is going to fire off, and it's going to run. Now, if you have a service in here that's only set to run every so often, so let's say service. I technically did this one, which sort of might work, and we changed this one. You set this to 5 seconds. We'll give a random deviation of half a second, and we'll run this, and we'll go back to our behavior tree. It doesn't help that I have this going through like this, so let's just connect this one. Yeah, this service right here is only going to run every 5 seconds, basically. So, like, if you're seeing this right here, it's not really going to do anything. You're just going to sit there doing nothing until this service needs to run every so often. So it's not a big deal. You can do it in the behavior tree. You can do it in the blueprint. How effectively you want to do it and how often you want to do it is completely, a different question. Wandered and Harry are definitely giving some good advice on that one. In regards to how often you could do it, you can by cheating, by using box traces and overlapping and things like that. Wander brings up a good point about using the pawn sensing, which is the EQS system and things like that. That's something I have not touched barely at all. I know what it means, but it's something I plan on working on. Those systems are nice because you basically allow them to do what they want based on realistic senses, so you don't have to use cones and things like that. Harry is saying AI perception is a crappy thing for RTSs because the sight sense doesn't work on 360-degree vision. Really? So you can't do like a 0 to 359 cone on AI perception? I don't play with AI, so I'm definitely not going to argue with you. Let's see, we have the perception component. Here we go. Crafts out at 180 degrees. Oh, well, that's a bummer. How far? It does technically say how far to the side AI can see. You know what? I'm gonna agree with you on that one. Well, I'm just gonna. Oh, we have a debug color technically too. I wonder if we can. I wonder if we can turn on debugging. I don't remember how to turn on debugging. That really doesn't help. I don't know. Let's see what happens if we hit play. Check. Let's see. Show. Let's see. Visualize. Let's see. Can we figure out how to show stimulation? I'm sure I can. But I literally have no idea where it would be. Oh, let's see. It's called perception, right? Whoops. Let's go back in here. Let's see. Show screen pretend. That doesn't help. Stimulation. No, I'll have to look into that. I don't know which one of you might be true, either Rodrigo or Harry. I am going to say, though, that based on the actual wording, it literally says how far to the side AI can see in degrees, which to me makes me feel that it would be 180. But I've never literally used this one, so that's something I plan on working on, that one. Let's see, peripheral. Where is the, what the, didn't it literally just tell me to set peripheral? Use set peripheral vision angle to set the value at runtime. Am I not literally doing set peripheral and it doesn't show up? It's under pawn sensing? Oh, because it's under pawn sensing. But it's part of the AI perception. Okay, now I'm just completely freaking confused. I hate. Yep. There we go. Pawn sensing. What the hell? Okay, I'm gonna delete these because they have both completely confused me, and I'll work on it later. And I'm gonna agree with what Wander just said. Setting up good AI in UE4 is a pain in the behind. I think you are correct. Well, yeah, see, I agree with that one, Harry, where it says pawn sensing is an old component. But the, did they copied the friggin' thing is what they did. They just simply copied the tooltip. Because the AI perception tooltips is the same thing for the site. Oh, do you have to maybe get the site is what it is? Like get, would you have to get one of the senses that are in here and then probably adjust it? I don't know. This is, okay, at this point I've gotten completely off of the rails, but this is way more fun. AI perception, let's see. So AI perception, no, let's see, component. How would we basically get this one and set its things up? Yeah, because it's not going to be that. We've already got that one. Yeah, because that's what I'm curious here. Because you have your senses configure right here, and then you have your different ones which technically have this sense drop down. And I mean, it lies because it's using the stupid same tooltips here. Well, let's type in config and see what happens. We can cast this config blueprint. Damage sense config. Site config. So there is a way to get access to the site config, which does have the peripheral angle. So, But config sure as hell doesn't come up, does it? Well, that's going to be fun to figure out. Okay, so let's see. A question about a loading screen. How does it work? I say the animation during the loading, you know. Oh. Well, I'm going to stop with the AI for now. My AI goal was completed, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to work on more AI come Wednesday. I think I'm going to look into the EQS system and then flesh out a better example AI project we're going to want to work on Wednesday. Spend less time screwing around on video and more time productively screwing around on video. For BJ, for the loading screen, there's a couple different ways for the loading screen. Technically, I did a loading screen somewhere, if I can remember where I did it at. I think it's in a completely different project, to be honest. Let me make sure it's not in here. Pretty sure it's not in here. Yeah, okay. So for the loading screens, where's my playground? So we'll see, those config options are exposed to the blueprints. So I'm curious if there's a way to get a hold of it somehow. Okay, so for the loading screens, BJ, there's a couple different ways of doing them. If you're inside of here, for example, and let's say you have a, you use the open level node. Open level is blocking. Basically, you can't have a loading screen that has animation if you're using the open level node. You fire off open level, the game stops doing anything it's doing, loads the level, and then the level's up. If you load a stream level, which, stupid thing, you're called load. Why are you not cooperating? Is it not called node? I don't want the instance. Open streaming level, get, okay, seriously. How could I literally be failing at nodes today? Okay, load. Okay, I've done this before a couple dozen times. I'm not stupid. Okay, I'm about to just literally give up with Unreal for the day. Where the hell's the streaming level node at? Oh, I'm in the damn construction script. Seriously? Okay, so now we're doing it in the proper part of the red graph. You have the load stream level node and you have the open level node. The open level is blocking, so it opens up your map by pausing the game basically, and then it resumes. Load stream level is a asynchronous node. Basically, stuff can happen while this is loading. So you could put a screen up that says loading, and then you could have like a widget. By widget, I mean we have our circular throbber widget, and we have the throbber widget. You could have just these loaded in the bottom, and it loads it up. And then this is on the screen, it says loading, these animations are playing, and then the map loads in the background, and then you can make it visible when it's done. If you want a progress bar where the actual bar like fills up, you're not going to be able to use either one of these, because As far as I know, in blueprints at least, Unreal doesn't give you access to the loading status. You'd have to make your own loading system using like the load asset system. If you use the load asset system, you can basically keep track of assets to load the beginning of your game, for example. And if you want to do this, then you could make a progress bar. The problem with it is that once it loads the map itself, the throbber stops throbbing. Which version? The open level version or the load stream level version, Slump? Basically, if this is checked or this is used, you can't really use anything. No, that's correct. You can open level is a blocking action. You will basically you're walking down the street, you hit the open level, nothing happens. It will literally stop doing whatever it is. The level opens up, and then you will be able to do what you want in the new level. Nothing can happen while the open level node is firing off. It's a blocking action. It's designed like that. If you want the progress bar to keep throbbing, you need to use the streaming version. Yeah. Well, technically you can fill a bar with data as it's loaded if you use a loaded asset version. If you make your own asset manager. That's the only way I figured out how to do it. It's a pain in the ass. But if your system requires maybe different asset sets loaded up, then you could do it like that. So yeah, like Wander's saying, open level is a hard load, streaming is a soft load. I have a video to show you how to do this, actually, but it's a separate project. That's why I couldn't pull it up just now. Playlists, and then wherever I put the concept videos at. They're even a different friggin' color, and I still can't find them half the time, which boggles my mind. Of course, I have the search button, so that really, I could have just done that. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? We're in here somewhere. Let's level streaming. I don't know what I typed in, but this has a lot of results. Huh. Did I type in the word loading? I did type in the word loading. Oh, it's the first stupid thing that I passed. Make a loading system using level streaming. If you've watched this video, it shows you basically the soft loading version. So it tells you how to stream up, have a progress bar, and stuff like that. So, yeah. So if you want to check this one out, the result you get is this right here. You have your start game menu, and then I'm talking apparently. And then you have a little loading screen like that, and then your level loads up. So that's the example right there. See a little splash screen, you can start it, it'll load up a little spinny thingy, and go from there. And then you can even have, you know, different maps and stuff. So that's on there. It's called loading screen thingy. Yeah, but that's basically it. And like Wander's mentioning, if you really want it to look like a loading screen, then you could technically fake it with delay nodes and let the map load in the background. And if the map loads faster, it's not really a big deal. If it loads slower, then I guess technically it's not really a big deal. You can figure it out. The only way to get true, honest loading times is either in C++ or make your own asset manager. Because technically, we did this for here. Actually, I literally just am I in my playground? I am. Yeah. Here, look. Someone actually asked this the other day. Let's see. Save. We have this little silly map right here, and here's my little loading progress bar. Whenever I push the button, if you look quick enough, I don't know if it's going to show up. I only have 4 things to load up. but basically inside, when I hit this, it changes our images. If I hit this, it changes to another set of images, so another set of assets. Technically, as it's loading in here, I think it's this one, right? Yeah, as it's loading in here, because it's loaded them all up, every time an asset is done loading and I store the asset, I basically update my progress bar, and it updates itself based on the total amount of assets. This was something I plan on working on at some point, like a manual asset manager example, how to use the load asset thing. This is a really rarely used node. You only use it if you have specific requirements, like you don't want to load stuff into memory until you need it, or maybe swapping out an entire user interface so you don't keep all the different pictures in memory at the same time. So it's doable. It's just hard to show unless you have something big to show as loading. How do you put videos in the widgets? I tried, but it doesn't work. I did that one once for someone else as well, and you can't put it in the widgets as far as I know. Wait. Let me kind of rephrase that. I don't believe there is a video player inside of here. You have to, oh crap, give me a second. It's media playback is what it is. The media framework. And there is a, there was a really good tutorial. Yeah, here we go. I hope this is the one I saw. Yeah, I'm trying to check it out right now. Yeah, okay, so this this link I'm gonna put in here, that's for the media framework. I don't believe you can put it in UMG, but you can basically just put your camera in front of an object that does this. I didn't look into it much, but you use the media framework and that'll allow you to do it. Yeah, media framework is something that I have not spent a lot of time in. But if you check out that link, I did get it to work, and I was able to successfully play a video stream. That's about as far as I got with it. I think there's a way to get it working inside of UMG, but it's like a different way, if that makes sense. I just can't remember how. Yeah, there's like a full screen option or something like that. Anyways, yeah, I do have that on the list, though. Hopefully, maybe you can figure it out. Let's see. Join session node. That's multiplayer. I wish I knew the answer to that. It does seem like that's a hard load. I always seem to remember that if you're like joining multiplayer, it loads up the stuff. Yeah, this is basically kind of what Wandert's saying. Join session's a hard load. You need a transition map to put all the player controllers in. Then you load the play map. So you kind of like join up into a lobby type thing, and then you could stream in the other stuff type thing. So if you ever watch the multiplayer games, it'll maybe show like a loading progress bar, and then all of a sudden you notice it stops, and then a couple seconds later it'll pick back up. It's basically transitioning you. I've definitely seen that one a few times. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. I have some memory over at the grocery store. I think I'm gonna go over there. Oh, I forgot I had memory coming. I forgot I had a package coming today. Anyways, I appreciate everyone from hanging out. I'm sorry if it was semi-boring / boring, especially all of the the AI stuff getting back up again. That was a refresher course. We'll just say I planned on it being like that to show everyone the inner workings of AI and behavior trees. But we all know it's because I forgot what I was doing. We'll just remove that from the video later. But the AI stuff is what I plan on working on for a couple days. Give me a little bit of a break. We'll work on some little more dynamic AI. Now that I've got the basic stupid behavior trees back in my head, we'll work on getting some more robust AI, some, not only our basic AI that was just re-implemented, but we'll get it where it actually reacts to the player. We'll get the EQS system working in there, and we'll try to just get some different examples for training purposes working in there. I liked someone's idea about the vehicle one. I think that might be interesting. Basically, where you just change the location it's going to go to as it hits each waypoint. Doesn't seem like it's hard in theory to me, but it's AI and Unreal Engine, so who the hell knows, to be honest. It'll be fun. Next up, yawning. I had a long night. I'm sorry about that. So that's it. Yeah, so appreciate everyone from hanging out. If you have any questions, comments, or whatever, feel free to leave them wherever. There's Twitch, there's Beam, there's YouTube, there's Twitter, there's email. Yeah, Schlump, I'd be more than happy to hear about your procedural mesh stuff. If anyone needs anything, just, for heaven's sake, I can't stop yawning. Oh my gosh, it's only like 12 o'clock here and I can't stop yawning. 12 p.m. technically, 12 in the afternoon. I do see some chat. I'll wrap that up as soon as I'm done trying to wrap up my wrap up. So again, feel free to contact me however you'd like. My email address is on the About section of YouTube. I try to help out if I can. Comment if you want. If you have any questions or anything specific you need help with, hit the stream or any of the other places. Shalom, I'd be more than happy to see your procedural mesh stuff next time. Speaking of next time, it will be Wednesday around 10 o'clock Pacific, roughly 2 hours before now. I try to stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the days that Epic doesn't stream. They stream Tuesday and Thursday. So it'll be next time. Wander, what do I do with my knowledge? I'm doing literally exactly what you see here. I have done games professionally and indie-wise, and it's enjoyable. I do more as time permits. But right now it's just passing along information, learning it, trying to help other people. And I do stuff like this, and then the video channel, and then I do things by request for companies and things like that. Harry, I did get the email. I literally just checked my email and noticed everything waiting. I do see it in there. I'll go ahead and check it out later today or tomorrow. And we can discuss it Wednesday, or I'll reply to you probably as well. And that's it. Apparently I'm yawning again. Holy crap. Again, sorry for the yawn. I'm going to have to do something about that. I will see everybody again whenever. And I'm going to let the stream idle for about 30 seconds so I just don't mysteriously disappear. Everyone have a good rest of their day, evening. Let's see, we've got days and evenings and afternoons. So have a rest of your time. That's it.